Nerissa Scott. She's going to tell us about Save Women's Sport Australasia as well as Women Up Queensland. So welcome, Nerissa. Thank you so much for coming.
I'll give you a few updates on what's been happening in Australia with regards to sport first. So in Australia, we have national gender diverse inclusion guidelines, which were developed by Sport Australia or the Australian Sports Commission, which prioritise gender identity above sex. And that's despite us having federal and state anti-discrimination legislation, which make it lawful to exclude men based on sex if strength, stamina, or physique are relevant, which is all sport. So these guidelines were developed alongside Pride in Sport, which is an arm of ACON, which is Australia's version of Stonewall. Pride in Sport purports to be Australia's only program specifically designed to assist sporting organisations with the inclusion of people of diverse sexualities and genders at all levels. And the development of the guidelines were apparently undertaken following the identification of a need for national guidance on how sports organisations can be inclusive of trans and gender diverse people. We did ask for more detail on these requests for a national guidance, but that information was not forthcoming. So it's particularly challenging with regards to advocating for women's sport here for females only, as different governments, so state versus federal, pass the buck on jurisdiction and say it's up to the sporting federations. However, as we've seen with the Trump administration in America, governments can withhold funding from organisations who do not protect the female category in order to force them to block male inclusion. So here in Queensland, where I live, the current Minister for Sport, he's the newly elected MP with the state government. So they're the Conservative Liberal National Party. He's also the Minister for the Olympics and the Paralympic Games, which will be held in Brisbane, Queensland in 2032. So Save Women's Sport Australasia was invited to take part in a sport consultation at Queensland Parliament House recently. Unfortunately, my colleague and Australian Olympian and Commonwealth Games gold medalist weightlifter Deb Ackerson was sick as a dog and she couldn't attend with me. So I went by myself. And I made sure that the necessity of sport being characterised based on sex was highlighted. The consultation was all about inclusion in sport and the future strategy here in Queensland. The main groups they had identified as being special groups were people living with a disability, seniors, culturally and linguistically diverse or COLD, First Nations, and of course the LGBTQIA+. I raised the question as to why women weren't also a category in their own right, seeing as our government spends millions in funding programs to encourage female participation and to improve attrition rates. Everyone at the table that I was sat at agreed with me. I made the point that we didn't want to see a repeat of Paris, where we witnessed men beating up women in the boxing ring here in Brisbane. So in Australia, the latest story of men in women's sport unfolded just this week down in Victoria with a huge dude playing in a women's netball league. He's literally built like a brick shithouse, to use Aussie slang. It's unclear if he identifies as a brick shithouse. And he has played elite netball in the men's league previously, but now he says he's a woman. So the good news is the netball league in question backed the women who said they felt unsafe, as well as footage surfacing of the female netballer getting knocked to the ground by this male player. So Netball Victoria launched an investigation following complaints from players and clubs. So Netball is one of the peak sporting organisations here who developed inclusion policies in line with the Australian Sport Commission guidelines. So they prioritise inclusion and gender identity above fairness and safety for females and biological sex. However, in a good outcome for women, as of Wednesday afternoon, the Netball League in question banned the two transgender players for the remainder of this year's season based on the legislation, which allows exemptions based on strength, stamina, or physique. We have seen the same thing occur here before in basketball. However, in football or soccer, we continue to see males playing in the women's leagues and injuring female athletes. So we've got Riley Dennis from the UK playing here in Sydney. What we need to see here is leadership from the Australian government and the Sport Commission that the women's category is for females only and the other category should be renamed to open. New Zealand has a similar situation. And to give you a quick update from our team in New Zealand, Sport New Zealand are dragging their heels with changing their trans inclusion guidelines to prioritise fairness and safety. They were meant to be finalised in June, yet as stakeholders, we at Save Women's Sport Australasia are yet to be consulted with. But our team in New Zealand did an awesome job of getting that on the agenda before the last New Zealand election. We're also waiting to see what the new head of the IOC, Kirsty Coventry, does. She said that she will protect the female category and female athletes, and she wants to work together with the international federations and for the IOC to take a little bit more of a leading role. She also talked about creating a task force to look at the transgender issue. The fact that she thinks a task force is required is a little bit concerning. However, in other good news, World Boxing, which is the new governing body and recognised by the IOC, this week announced mandatory sex testing to avoid men punching women in the head. Let's hope the entire IOC follows suit, and this will have a trickle-down effect to all levels of sport to restore fairness and safety for females. Meantime, in Brisbane, I'm involved with a women's advocacy group called Woman Up Queensland, with the group's founders, Sue and Leah, two warrior women. And they've been holding monthly Speakers Corner events for nearly 2 years now. So the co-founder of the Australian and Queensland Greens, Drew Hutton, who was suspended for supporting sex-based rights, he has now spoken at 2 of our events, which is amazing. However, we've had the same group of trans activists rocking up wherever we set up our events in the CBD to disrupt, intimidate, and try and silence us. They bring their PAs, their megaphones, and have stalked us in a sustained campaign of targeted harassment and abuse over 14 months now, and police have done very little to stop them. There have been physical altercations and women have been assaulted. And Joe, I'm just going to get you to play some footage, and it shows the trans rights activist behaviour and the lack of police action.
There was a focus on safe. Here we go.
What do we do? What do we do? You hateful, spineless bigots are trying to hurt people. Children are killing themselves because of your rhetoric. It's not a lie. Children are committing suicide. People are being bashed in the streets because of your rhetoric. Wedding dresses, what dress?
You're the man.
Fascist.
Are you going to help us? Are you going to help us? They're walking away. The police are walking away. Are you going to help us? Are you going to help us? Sorry? This is our... They've come to attack us. Can you please move them away?
Sorry?
Can you please move them away?
Isn't it?
We have a permit to be here. They
Yes,
do not.
They do.
They don't. We know that they don't because we've checked.
They do.
Sir, we've checked.
Yeah.
So you're not going to do anything to get these people away from us?
They've got a permit to be here also.
Right, so these people are allowed to come and intimidate us like this, are they? Is that okay?
We've got more people. We've got some more crews coming.
Okay.
Stonewall was a riot started by trannies like us. Trans people are community. I have no idea what you're saying. I don't give a shit because it's bullshit.
Yeah, because you don't want to listen to the police.
I listen to you and you said you want me to die. You want me bashed in the street.
Trans women,
Your ideology leads
trans
to the
women
murder.
are men. You have no idea. Do you think this is acceptable? Seriously, we're just having our event and they come and do that to us. Like, these are blokes. These are men.
So can we go and stand over there and be left alone?
Yeah. Do you want to?
So we go back over there.
You want to try that?
Try what? Surely you should be moving them, not us. Is it our job to move?
They're the special kind. There's
Yeah.
no law that stops them from doing anything.
Can you do something? This is the state of the Queensland Police. This is absolutely ridiculous. We can't even have our own speaking event that we have a permit for. And we've got... This is the state of the police. Look at this. It's just derangement. You said that they would stay back. Get them out of our area. This is
Bandcamp.com/tranny metal screamo. Check out my new mixtape. It's actually got your last.
Excuse me, we want to speak.
It's really
Look at
funny.
the state of the Queensland police in these days. This is absolutely absurd. Shall I actually call Triple Zero? I might just go for it. Of course you can. Absolutely. Speak.
Oh, this is the act. Will you hang on to it?
Where's the speaker? I want to get near the speaker.
That bitch got a thin blue line.
A week ago,
Thin blue line. Let's go. The fascists, the racists, and the turds. The fascists, the racists, and the turds.
We're listening, Anna. We're listening.
Are you listening? Thank you.
Are you listening?
We're trying to ride the attack. What do we do? We're trying to ride the attack. What do we do? We're trying to ride the attack. What do we do? We're trying to ride the attack. What do we do? Where do we hide? Police.
Yes!
Guys, break it up.
Go on, take it!
Guys, let's break it up.
How can you break it up, guys?
Break it up, guys. World star.
Mate, don't tell me to access my fucking friend. Fuck you, bro. You perpetrate this kind of fucking violence and then complain about it.
You're fucking fascist pieces of shit! You're fascist pieces of shit! This is what you do! This is what you do! Violence!
You perpetrate this fucking shit and then complain about it.
Here we go.
Tell me more about
This is the kind of man that wants to be in our space. This is the kind of man that we're meant to pretend is a woman. Never. We will never pretend that this is a woman. We can see with our own eyes you're a big dude. This is the future for our children. This is what our children are being told to accept. We can't even speak in public. We can't even speak in public. Look at the state of it.
You get the picture. So last weekend, they brought with them 2 PAs, megaphones, a council marquee, and a brass band. And police allowed them to set up where we had a permit. So they were actually only about, well, they were just as close as in the video, 5 meters or so from us. So it's obviously a complete disavowal of our civil liberties and in breach of many local and state laws, including the Queensland Peaceful Assembly Act. And from that weekend, so just last Sunday, this short clip shows the attitudes of some of the police officers in Queensland, and it was taken by Leah from Woman Up. It's just a short clip.
Okay, if I detect any offences, we'll go with it. Okay.
It's very telling, isn't
Thank
it?
you.
When a man sticks up for transvestites who want to infiltrate women's spaces, and these men seem to have absolutely no issue with that whatsoever. Even men that are paid to protect.
Yeah, well, ever since that... It's really good for the law, because it's like, seriously, they haven't committed offences yet. If they do something, they'll fix it. So you're making up stuff that's not there, you know what I'm saying?
These men turn up every month to intimidate us. But why are you just skirting over that fact? Why is that just...
We're not skirting over the fact.
You're skirting over the fact that these men do turn up month after month.
And stabbed you in the back, and then I got convicted, and then 6 months later I come up to you and I haven't got a knife in my hand, does that mean I should be arrested for something?
Oh my God, I can't believe you just did that.
Well, it's the same thing.
I can't believe I can't believe a policeman has just used that as an analogy.
Making up stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He basically used an analogy saying, if someone stabbed you in the back and then turned up somewhere else 6 months later without a knife, should he be arrested? That's basically what that cop just said. Yes, we're in the process of filing whatever we need to file to try to get some action on this. And we'll obviously continue to advocate for women's single-sex spaces and sports, as well as the repeal of legislation that we have here, such as self-ID.
Does Australia have a police complaints commission to file against them for lack of protection and enforcement?
Yeah, so we do have that in each state, and this only happened the footage has been happening. The footage has been going. The montage has been from events across a year. Yes, the recent one only happened on Sunday. I think in the past the issue has also been that women don't want to give police our details if we lodge a formal complaint. Some of the women that I do these events with are ex-police, and they don't trust police.